Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
This is Robbie Eagles.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Hi, this is Mimic. This is 5 times the world's heavyweight champion, the Scrap Daddy himself, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
This is Brian Alvarez, and you are listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Josh Armour, and thanks very much for downloading Wrestle Radio Australia. This is our first episode.
Oh, yeah! G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is the Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
How many of you guys have heard the term kayfabe?
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and you are locked in
to Wrestle Radio Australia.
I in the game, I'm champion, I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, trying like country muscle. If you suffer like tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the vein, you best to get in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you ain't down with that, then I got 2 words for you, suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, pouring up the club. Let's be busy, 23, got me feeling way too sweet.
I was trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. But a square peg in a round hole just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch. It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. My name is Lachlan Albert, and I am joined, as always, by the podfather, Todd Eastman. Todd, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, my friend. How are you? Oh, I was good till about 5 seconds ago. I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Hitting. I'm good, mate. It's also nice to be joined by the brain behind WrestleBrania, Jeff Setti. Jeff, how you doing, mate?
I'm very well, Lock Daddy. How are you?
Oh, great, Jeff Poppy. We're also joined by the man behind Oz Wrestling Cards and Pario Magazine. One more daddy to add to the team. It's Jamie Apps. Jamie, always good to see you, brother.
Always good to see you as well.
The littlest daddy of the crew. Look, we have got a lot to talk about this week, and we're already off to a start. I'll tell you that much.
Already, there's so much to unpack.
There's some therapists watching this who are just taking notes. Look, between PWA...
there are therapists watching and knowing how they're going to pay for their pool.
That's right. Between PWA the Climb that was free on YouTube last week, to Summerslam going on and the results of that, to all chaos in the indie world and ongoing results from the G1 Climax, there's so much wrestling happening. And the way to keep up with it is to be subscribed to Wrestle Radio Australia. You can do that on all your podcast platforms of choice, but importantly, you can do it here on Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia. To be part of the conversation, like Roddy Online is in the chat. Hey, Roddy, how you doing, mate? Roddy says, hey, nerds. Glad that you're one of us nerds here, Roddy. And, I mean, honestly, we do not want to let this go like it did last week, where the podcast ended up being 2 podcasts because we had so much to talk about. So we're going to have to get stuck into it and talk about PWA Black Label's The Climb, which happened last week on Friday night, and it was indeed free on YouTube. So we were able to catch it live. And that one kicked off in a big way with the Golden Esky ladder match. This had Aaron Jake, Big Fudge, Frankie B, Jess Troy, Michael Spencer, Nikki Van Blair, I don't know why it just says Nikki Van Blair here, though. Oh, it said Frankie B earlier. So, they were one competitor, so split up. And Will Keatis. And Will Keatis ended up getting the win in this one. Todd, let's pass to you.
Blame
We're in the middle of something.
Well, It's got Nikki Van Blair because Frankie B's up there high. You already read her.
Frankie's up there, and I just ran straight through it. I was full
Yeah.
Ron Burgundy mode.
Yeah, I was about to say, brother.
I'm Lachlan Albert. Todd, what did you think of the Golden Esky ladder match?
Oh, good. Great way to start off the show, I thought. I mean, a long way to start off the show. It was like 25 minutes or something. But
Yeah.
it was, I tell you what, if you wanted to introduce a crowd to, like, bumps, flips, everything to do with, like, the insanity of wrestling, that is a match you could use for that. They did it so well. Especially with, like, the little comedy spots with the step ladder for Fudge. And just Michael Spencer trying to jump at the start. That I love that part where, like, he was trying to jump. And I think it was, like, was it? No, it was when Fudge was climbing up. And Aaron Jake. The interplay between Fudge and Aaron Jake, I really enjoyed all the way through it. Especially the storyline going, like, if Aaron wins it, he's going to put him in a match with Fudge, for the loser leaves PWA so he doesn't have to see him anymore.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. And Aaron Jake, I mean, has just so been coming into his own over the past year or so. Like, he continually delivers. But, I mean, that's true for all the people in this match, right? Like, we've talked about how Jessica Troy is so all over the PWA card because of how good she is. She's been, unbeatable in a lot of the big time matches for a long time. Ketis is such a solid guy on the mic. Big Fudge is consistently hilarious. You've got Michael Spencer, who has been low key one of the most solid performers on the card. You got PPK, who character forward are just killing it. I think this was a great assemblage of wrestlers to throw a bit of chaos in at the start of the show, while also having it not be just chaos, because it could have been like, oh, ladders are getting thrown around, rah, 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 someone wins. And it wasn't. It felt nice and well sequenced. Jeff, what did you think of it?
Oh, look, I like this a lot. I agree with you guys. It was pretty much a look at these people who have arrived. So, obviously Jess anchored the match. Fantastic. But it was great. I really think that PPK are becoming an interesting act as a duo, and I look forward to seeing where they go with them, because I think that the two of them are just so entertaining and so good. You wax about Aaron Jake, and every word is deserved. I just really come into his own. Michael Spencer is amazing. Like, Michael Spencer is so fucking good. Imagine being Cosmo Cooper, who is also excellent, and seen as the lesser member of MK Plus Ultra. And he's incredible as well. Like, just so much talent from that trio. And I think that this was a really nice, fun, balls to the wall, relentlessly action-packed match. And the right person won. I think Ketis was absolutely always going to win this, and it was the right call. You're both right. The interactions between Aaron Jake and Fudge were hilarious. Fudge seeing Jake as his new buddy, and Jake just wanting very little to do with him and then destroy him. Brilliant.
Especially that bit where it's like, if I win this match, I'm going to make a match where you and I have to wrestle. And if whoever loses leaves PWA, and for Fudge to go, but then we can't hang out anymore.
Yeah, so funny. I mean, the great thing about Fudge is when you need comedy, Fudge is there. But then when he's got to do something a bit more serious, the guy brings it. And there's a believability to Fudge now, despite a slender body shape. We're not looking at Slex or Jonah Rock here. We're looking at Big Fudge. But yet, it's incredibly believable what he can do in ring. And it's a credit to PWA that they built him that way. Look, I thought this was terrific. What a great way to open a show. Really, really satisfying. Jamie, what did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this as well. It was like the perfect sort of sampler pack for what PWA is and how diverse the roster is. So any new person that came in, you got a little bit of what PWA has. They've got Spencer doing crazy corner to corner, coast to coast, not side to side. You've got
unbelievable. Like, that's ridiculous.
He's nuts. PPK doing the heavy character stuff. Big Fudge, Aaron Jake with comedy spots. And I loved how the match had the continuity of stories in here. It wasn't just a ladder match for ladder match sake. Like, we had Fudge and Kiedis Fudge and Jake continuing their storyline. Kiedis continuing his sort of storyline of, if I win this, North Shore Wrestling basically control the company. Like, we've got everything. And I also like the production touches as well. The black and green ladders. Great little touch. Although there were a couple that weren't painted and colored correctly. So I would have, like, if you're going to do it, make sure they're all colored correctly. And I loved
maybe that wasn't actually supposed to be used.
yeah, that was probably the actual setup ladder.
Yeah.
And the pink and black chair as well. That was another like PPK touch that was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what spot that they could have done, which I think they missed? Is that, you know, when Frankie was just kicking everyone in the nuts? I would have liked to have seen like Big Fudge kick her and just have her not sell it, then kick him back.
Yeah.
Because she was just laying into everybody. It was like her go-to move during it. So for him to think he's outsmarted her by kicking her first and going, ha ha ha, that would have popped me huge. And I thought it was coming, to be honest with you.
Yeah, those are exactly the kind of things Fudge does too.
Yeah.
And I think Jeff said that Will Kiedis was the correct winner, but anybody could have won this. And I would have been like, yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. They have an opportunity now.
I don't know if you noticed too, Will didn't really do much in the match. So, like, he let everyone else get their spots because he's like, I'm going to win this thing. So let everyone else get their stuff in first.
Playing opportunities.
Which I think is really smart. Yeah, really smart.
And I think that PPK have absolutely developed into their role so well. I mean, Nikki is great, and Frankie, the pair of them just really work well together. There's something so fun about them. Jamie, you watch PWA probably the most of the four of us. In terms of you watch them live, it's a bit hard to pick up the reaction to PPK on video sometimes. Are they faces, heels, or tweeners? I can't quite work it out.
In PWA, they're definitely more on the face side, but they don't change their character. They are still basically the mean girls of PWA, but people are just like, I love them anyway.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
Alex Fireheart in the chat.
Popular girls at school where you're like, I should hate them, but they're still the popular girls. I want to be their friend.
Alex Fireheart giving Aaron Jake credit for realizing he maybe got up too early after the low blow to hit Frankie with the ladder. So he just kept selling the low blow to allow him to stall. Yeah, all those really nice little touches through this, you know, and it justifies it going for that longer period of time where it feels like, other than the main event, this was one of the matches the show was built around, right? So you've got kind of that bookend of long match at the start, long match at the end that are really important. Like Alex said, watching this match before work wasn't a particularly good idea, given they ended up going, come on, guys, take it home. I've got to leave soon. But because you've got so many people in the match and they're all getting those opportunities to shine, 23 minutes is a long match, but it didn't feel long to watch. It felt like there was always stuff going on that was worth paying attention to, that things were flowing.
And it was all different people all the time. It wasn't just like one person carrying it and having moments with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think credit to everything on this card that this didn't feel like a one-match show or even a two-match show. Because it definitely could have, and we'll talk about, you know, when we get to the main, that they could have put on one match and then left and people would have been happy, right? But everything on this card was worth being here. And that includes the Brotherhood of RANGA, the team of EC Brownie and Jack J. Bonza, taking on MK Plus Ultra in the form of Cosmo Cooper and Kai Drake, which I really like, that we're seeing all of the different variations of MK Plus Ultra and that Cosmo Cooper is feeling like a real part of that team. For a while, it felt like Kai and Michael Spencer were MK Plus Ultra and Cosmo was their young boy. and it doesn't feel like that anymore. It feels like he's part of the stable, and I think that shows, the way that he has grown as a performer, but also the great storytelling that they do through PWA in making people feel important, by mixing up, which parts of tag teams are present in these matches, which parts of stables, and I think Brownie and Bonza needed this win. There was no way that they weren't going to get this win. But I think that having Cosmo and Kai as the underdog baby faces here to fight against it was a really great choice. Jamie, what did you think of this match?
This was solid. I liked it for what it was in terms of the in-ring action. I would have liked a bit more story progression with the Brotherhood. Like, I enjoyed that Ref Rach was again the referee chosen to do this match. So it feels like they're building to that. I kind of would have liked to see something where she missed something because of the Brotherhood doing something, and then they could play off it. But there wasn't anything like that where it was like, we're progressing this storyline. It was kind of just a tag match.
Maybe it's too early for that, though.
Yeah, even like not something that was like in your face where she's clearly helping them win. Just a subtle thing of continuing, like they're slowly trying to bring her around to their side, but they didn't really do that. They were kind of in her face just as much.
The fact that
maybe that's not where they're going with it.
But the fact that it has been her, I think, is like at the very least enough to get people to notice. Like clearly they are doing it with a view of we're putting Ref H in that match, right? So whether it's a background thing, whether it's to keep people like us paying attention, like who knows? Like Jeff, what did you think of this match?
Oh, look, I really like this one as well. Brownie's coming along. Like the guy's beginning to put it together really, really nicely. From, earlier on, I was a bit sort of, well, he's got a good look and he's obviously very tall. To now going, the guy's bringing it well. He's doing good work, and you're in there with MK plus Ultra. You are never going to have a bad match. Like Lachlan and I could get in there against MK plus Ultra, and they'd make us look like $1 million. That's the kind of team they are. Really, really impressed with them. And you're right about Cosmo Cooper. He used to be the third wheel, and now he's part of MK plus Ultra. And what I really like is any of those three guys could break out and do a thing, and you'd go, yeah, that's believable. I'm interested to see where Kai Drake ends up, because I'm very, very big on Kai Drake. I think he's an excellent talent and got a really nice presence.
Yeah, and we've seen him be in the main event recently, right? Showing that he is that level of performer, right? So it wouldn't surprise me to see him go, continue to be in that realm. Todd, what did you think of the tag match here?
I think because really, I know where you were going with it, Jamie, about the thing with Ref H and all that stuff, but Brownie and Bonds have really only just gotten together themselves. Like, I think it was that last show we talked about, he won the match to have Brownie have to be with him.
Yep.
So that only just happened. So I think, that's why I said maybe they're rushing it. Maybe that's not even something they're planning, and it just happened to be that Rach is reffing that match. Who knows? It's a bit weird that they don't.
I know Hannah was away for this show, so maybe that was kind of their only option.
Maybe. I think it's weird that Digby wasn't there. I know he had a gig, maybe something else. It's just like that presence on the outside would help with the presentation. I really like the fact that Brownie has changed his tights, so it's to fit in with the sort of the group look. It is kind of weird that you've got the brotherhood of that word with a guy that is like Bullet Club, and then a different guy. Still doing that Bullet Club thing. It's a bit of a disconnect for me. But I love the team. I think the team is a perfect fit, not just because of their pigmentation, but the way that they work together. Their size fits. It almost feels like okay, we lost the regime. Let's bring another 2 big meaty dudes to fill that role in tag teams. And that's what I
Brotherhood
think
of Regime.
like. Brotherhood of Regime. There you go.
Lachlan?
Yeah, I can't say more about MK plus Ultra because you guys have said all there really needs to be said about them. They are the premier team. Like, even though they've moved Cosmo into the spot, they haven't really skipped a beat at all with it. It feels very velocities with Matt Diamond.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Todd, you just need to wait because Jeff's going to make a joke about me having red hair.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, as our resident ringer, how do you feel about it all?
I'm not convinced still. It's the lighting.
So you're a ringer.
But I'm right.
I'm not convinced that I'm a ringer.
We had this argument last week.
It's gonna
Okay,
keep.
let's try the test. I'm gonna try a test.
I'm not convinced I'm a ringer. If I had to rename episodes to titles of episodes, that would 100% be like MCS, PWA the Climb. I'm not convinced I'm a ranger.
I'm a ranger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try the test. I've got a test. Todd, Jamie, let's opt out. If you're a ranger and you know it, clap your hands.
Oh shit!
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Well, now we know.
I always
All right.
fall for it.
We know.
Ben Braxton and Robbie Thorpe going 1-on-1 in, just a future main event waiting to happen.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
This is just what, Australian wrestling main events look like in 3 to 5 years. This is it. Ben Braxton getting the win over Robbie Thorpe here was right for the way that the crowd is responding to Braxton in PWA, but Robbie Thorpe is bloody fantastic. This is just the future of Aussie wrestling right here. Take a look. Jeff, what did you think of this one-on-one between Braxton and Robbie Thorpe?
There was no way this wasn't going to be incredibly entertaining. They're both so good. Robbie is without a doubt. You're right. This is the main event. 3 to 5 years, we'll be watching this as a main event and going, yeah, this is great. Robbie is not only is he a pleasant human being, pulling the curtain back, but he's also so very, very good in ring. He moves really quickly for a man of that size because he's a big boy, but yet he can move quickly. He can run the ropes really quickly, and we can't say enough good things about Ben Braxton. And the reaction and the teasing of the announcers that the crowd want Braxton to be the Coliseum winner this year. I mean, there's no coincidence that that's starting to be said a lot and starting to be thrown around a lot. And Rosie and Gail both do a good job of subtly bringing that in every time Ben Braxton is on screen. I think this was terrific. Just so good. I'm surprised it was 11 minutes. For me, it felt a lot quicker than that. For me, it felt like it was about 8 because it was
flew
just
by.
action. And my one comment is, let's run this back again here. Let's run it back again in Newey. Let's run it back again in PWA because I'm sure it'll be great. The only negative thing is that Robbie was introduced as the present Robbie Thorpe, where he's actually the gift.
The gift.
And I think the announcers were having a bit of fun with that. But yeah, that's the only slightly negative thing. Otherwise, it was excellent. Todd, what did you think, man?
It was like the best of the next for me.
Yeah.
It was like next up from New South Wales, next up from Melbourne. Really, when I look at that match, it was really good. The one thing, because I've been looking at it, I'm like, what is really holding Ben back at the moment? And if I was to say it's anything, it's just like a little bit of personality. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Just needs to be a bit more you know what I mean? Seems very zeroed in when he's wrestling. It's very much like this is the match and bang, I'm doing serious. Whereas I think there are times where he can play to the crowd a bit, where he just seems to miss that opportunity because he's going to the next thing. And I think that is the only thing that's stopping him at the moment from being in the top like echelon in that company. It's a real little thing, and it's just, and I know this is probably me like absolutely nitpicking him, but because the match was fine, and like he gets amazing reactions already, so I can't imagine how much better that would be if he just added that little tweak, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm being overly like analytical on this. I don't know what do you guys think?
I personally think you're being a little overcritical. I think that it's becoming increasingly obvious that the crowds love him, and that's a big part of wrestling, as we all know. If the crowds don't buy into you, then you're kind of a little dead in the water. They're very responsive when he's around. He's lifting his game match by match. I think it's time for PWA specifically to just give him the baton and see how far he runs with it.
I'm not saying he's not over. I'm saying look at the crowd reaction for him, and then look at the crowd reaction for someone like Tucky, who comes out in place of the
right.
And it's the story Tucky's on at the moment.
Yeah, but mate, before that it was.
But even like Aaron Jake, you could say the same for Aaron Jake.
Yes.
Those couple of seconds between the moves where he says something to the crowd or stops and like really plays up the character side, makes that connection that little bit stronger. Like,
yes,
Braxton's still great. He still has a couple of those moments, but a few extras and you just shoot to the moon.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of Salt Bay is what I'm saying. A little bit of, just sprinkle a bit more.
It's 2025, Todd. Jesus.
Yeah, I know, and you're a ranger.
Jamie, Jamie, what did you think of this one?
I thought this was great. I was very shocked by the technical opening. I did not picture Braxton hanging with Robbie Thorpe in terms of ground-based technical wrestling, but he did very well. And I was glad that we finally got that big, like, decisive win for Braxton, because he's kind of been getting the sneaky roll-ups and stuff like that. But he finally got that big win. I think they called Robbie the present as a play on, like, everyone keeps calling Ben Braxton the future. And I think Robbie was like, I'm the present. You might be the future, but I'm the present.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
And I was also...
Oh, like a pun!
Yes. Am I wrong? Was I crazy for thinking that this felt like it was the You've Been Noticed Coliseum promo spot and it just didn't come at the end of the match?
Didn't happen. Yeah.
You know what, though? Maybe there was so much on this card that they just didn't want to get buried.
That's what I thought about afterwards. I was like, maybe they just didn't want it to get overshadowed by what came later in the show.
And also...
And on top of that, sorry to interrupt, Jeff, like, they haven't announced anything for Coliseum yet, right? We don't have dates. We don't have any idea about... So it's possible that they're still, making sure the pieces are in place before they announce anything.
Yeah.
And you kind of... I think for Coliseum, you don't want to announce Braxton first. You leave that.
You should be the last one announced.
Right? Because people will be going, oh, they're gonna fuck over Braxton again. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, I really want to see Braxton in there. And then something happens and Braxton is finally announced. I don't think they do it first.
They might even make him have a match to earn his way in.
Yeah. Just to get the crowd really behind him and really hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, though, PWA tag team titles on the line, and we've been saying for some time that it felt like North Shore Wrestling needed to start getting a chokehold over the gold in PWA. And now, with not only Charlie Evans having that gold and Will Keaters having the gold Nesky, North Shore Wrestling, Jack Osborne and Sam Osborne taking the PWA tag team titles from the Backslide Girls over at Connors and Shay Cassidy. It felt like the time was right. I'll pass it to you, Jamie, first. What did you think of North Shore Wrestling versus Backslide Girls?
Totally the right call here of putting the belts on them. I love how well they worked together. Like, they even had some of the the taunts and stuff with the double head twist. They both did that at the same time. I was like, perfect. And I love that Jack just mauled Shea Cassidy to begin with, made him look absolutely dominant. What else? I loved Chev's on commentary. I thought she did a great job on commentary. And
absolutely.
I didn't like the finish with the Chev's grabbing the ref. Like, wouldn't that be a DQ? But apart from that, really enjoyed the match.
Todd?
Yeah, it was 100% the right call for a myriad of reasons. Like, I think that and not just because they're brothers, they just fit so well together as a tag team. They just so very well. And yeah, for the story to progress the way that they kind of wanted to, they kind of had to do this. They kind of had to. And also for like Backslide Girls, I think it's probably good for the fact that Shea will get to step out on her own a bit now.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what, especially over the last couple of months, you can really see a progression. And I think she's on the MCW show coming up. So
she
like,
is against Asia.
Yeah, there you go. So it was like, although it's a title loss, it could be the best thing that happened to Shea, just for a fact that now she can actually go out. And I mean, I would not be all that opposed to just seeing like a short-term little thing with her and Charlie Chevs, because there is that thing that still sort of like was sort of like underlying all through that thing, which is like it's
especially when you think back and you think that they were, going to have that champ versus champ match that never happened. So
yeah, Shay's got that over of you're ducking me.
Yeah. So like I just think it's like great things all around. Like the match was really good. They didn't they didn't overstay their welcome, and yet they also didn't leave. They left it decisive, but still made it look like there are plenty of times there I thought, oh, the Back's like they're going to pull this off. They're going to pull this off. They're going to pull this off. And then it was just like they were just overpowered by teamwork and that. And of course, your brothers. It's implied that you're probably a better cohesive team than people that have been teaming together for a while anyway, just because you've got that natural thing. So I really, really enjoyed this match. I thought it was the right decision, like I said, for different reasons all around.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Jeff?
I think right. I'm trying to say this as delicately as possible. So I apologize in advance if I offend anybody, but I think it was time for the Backslide Girls to lose those belts. I don't think there was no one else. There was no one else that they could possibly face in ring. So I think they'd run the gauntlet on PWA tag teams. And to be honest, I felt for the last probably two defenses, their shtick's getting a bit stale. I was glad that it wasn't the Velocities, because we need someone else to have those belts. It can't always go back to the Velocities. And I think Jack and Sam are a great choice. North Shore Wrestling doing the Four Horsemen thing, or Four Horse People in this instance of having all the gold and having, the next visible opportunity is a real positive. And I think that, Shea and Everett were really, really strong and really fun as face champions. Their entrances were always a highlight. I'm sure that will be carried over in one way or another. But yeah, the right team won, and it was a lot of fun. It was a fun match. And Jack Osborne is just a beast. So new in his career, but already a beast. What did you think,
Alex
Jen?
Fireheart nails it, saying, never thought I'd see someone do the edge spear and make it look impactful. Then I saw Jack Osborne lay these two out with it. Well,
yeah, it was great.
Jamie, did you get your hand on this ball as far as the tag titles?
Yeah, I started.
Yeah, I thought so. That's all good then. We can move on.
What did you think, Lachlan?
I thought it was the right time for the titles to change hands, and I was really impressed by the Osbournes. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, and I think that the Backslide Girls' reign was, and we talked about them as underdog baby faces repeatedly, you know, and them managing to just survive with those titles, I think was a really good story. And I think that, you know, having North Shore Wrestling be the ones to just be too much is the right story for this. I think it was perfect. Moving on, PWA Premiership semi-final for 2025. This is the Trios Premiership tournament, and it had the team of Third Eye, Jay Sorbet, Ty Thayer, and Xander Sullivan, and the Velocities, Jude London and Paris De Silva with Velkin Wild, and Third Eye getting the win here. There is no secret that I love the Velocities, right? That's been very clear for a very long time. They are one of my favorite tag teams, one of my favorite wrestling identities ever. And I am so glad that they didn't win this, because another team needed it and the Velocities didn't, right? Yes, it gave a bit of a shine to Velkin to have him with the Velocities, but a team like Third Eye, yeah, that's exactly right. A team like Third Eye benefits so much from getting a win over the Velocities in a tournament like this, right? And them going on to the finals and going, yeah, we are, you know, a unit. There's 3 of us and we're going to show up and show out, I think is perfect. Looking at the other side of the Premiership, it's going to be North Shore Wrestling versus MK Plus Ultra at the Beer Shed to decide their opponents. I think what makes sense is having MK Plus Ultra go through because North Shore Wrestling has a bunch of gold and an esky at the moment. Like, they don't necessarily need it. And then you end up with a good face versus heel dynamic for the final. Plus the idea of having a conspiracy theory team against a team named MK Plus Ultra just feels so natural. Like that, you know, obviously. Yeah, I think that this has been really well booked as a premiership, especially in this latter half. And I'm really impressed by how Third Eye are looking. Like, you know, you look at guys like, and I could talk about Xander forever because he was one of the guys who got me back into wrestling, right? But guys like Jay Sorbet and Ty Thayer have been, you know, Thayer especially coming almost out of nowhere for me and being really, really impressive. I think that this was really enjoyable. I'm never going to say that a Velocities match was bad, but this felt like the right result. It felt like a good match leading into something that the crowd was hyped for. So it was a bit of an uphill battle, I thought, having the crowd on side and not just looking forward to the main event. And I think they did really well. Todd, what did you reckon?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the result, and not just because like Xander's one of my low-key like wrestling sons. And the amount of work he's put, again, is one of the boys that are on the Body by Slacks diet and is done so much work now. He looks
different,
like $1 million.
He looks like a totally different person.
Yeah,
He does.
Yeah. I love the fact that Third Eye have worked on their tag team moves, and not just tag team moves as like 2 guys, like triple tag team moves. I love that. I love because it just sets them apart. They have their shit sorted. Do you know what I mean? Like when they do something, when they've got a tag, all 3 of them can be involved because they've got something worked out for that. I love that stuff. And it's not just like we have our tag move and any 2 of us can do it. They've got specialty trios like spots, which I love. I love that stuff. And for like the Velocities and Velkin, like Velkin's only going to get so much better out of just the experience of working with the Velocities over a couple of shows. So, yeah, I enjoyed the match. I love Third Eye as a team. I would like to see them win the whole thing. I don't know if they will. I got a feeling it might be MK Plus Ultra in the end, just because they're kind of the next guys. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of the next staple guys that aren't the Velocities. So yeah. I could see that more happening. But a hell of a good launching pad for Third Eye there's been in this tournament. So I love the match. I thought it was great. Jamie?
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this as well. Velkin fit in with the velocities so well. And then got pinned, which kind of made him the weak link. So I wonder if that leads to some more velocities, story progression, potentially heel turn where they turn their back on him because you cost us a shot at more accolades. And then the other thing that's like the glaring elephant in the room for this match, that blown finish, it sucked the air out of the room and kind of sucked the air out of the match. Thankfully, they managed to get it back. But when it happened, I was like, oh no, that sucks so bad for everyone involved.
Yeah. It's one of those unavoidable things, though. Like, stuff's going to happen.
That's
It's
right.
how you respond to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff?
I thought this was terrific. The right team won. I was pleasantly surprised in some ways that Third Eye won. And it shows that PWA have a bit of faith in them. I think, you're never going to get a bad velocities match. You really aren't. And sure, there was a whiffed ending, I guess is the best way to put it. They whiffed on that a little bit. But, as you said, they quickly got back on track. The crowd got back into it within a minute or two, and off we go. We're off to the races. And, yeah, absolutely fantastic to see Xander get into shape and see, the positivity that's around Third Eye. I actually really like them. I think as a group, a conspiracy theory group is hilariously funny. And while still
Xander carries that over to socials as well, because I put up a post about Toa this week and he was in the comments being, don't talk about me unless you're going to put me on a card. And he's calling me a sheep. I was like, cool, well done.
Yeah. He gets it. He gets it.
Yeah. And I think as your semi-main, this was really, really strong. Really strong. Wonderful. Wonderful to see.
And like you talk about blown finishes, they happen all the time. But like, if you watched NXT this week, perfect example. Like referee completely blew the finish on it. But so it happens. Like it's one of those things. And really, to be honest with you, I kind of forgot about it until it was brought up again. I was, oh yeah, that did happen.
It made me think maybe Third Eye are winning because if like they weren't going to progress, you could have just had the velocities take that win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point.
I like this point by Alex Firehart. They forgot to bring it up, but they groaned during the tag title match when a botched diving crossbody got a "you fucked up" chant. I'd hoped we left that in the past and moved on to those chants being reserved for "you pissed off the wrong wrestler" moments. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I couldn't agree any more. I think it's time we leave that kind of thing, especially from people who have never set foot in a ring. Like, if you haven't set foot in a ring, how dare you sit there and go, "you fucked up"? Your job as an audience member is to suspend your disbelief and go, "Yeah, this is fun.
I can do it."
Todd's allowed.
Yeah, if we watch a show and someone fucks up, Todd is the only person out of the four of us who can go, "You fucked up. You fucked up."
All right. Well, I don't know, Jeff. Apparently, you and I can work against MK Plus Ultra, so we'll see.
Do you know what the word? The "you fucked up" champion. Like, whoever decided to go to a wrestling show and just keep doing that fucking that meme or not meme or Jesus, the reel that's out there of the guy at the UFC, the twist his dick. I'm fucking over that shit.
Ooh.
Like,
for me, it's
that is
that's
annoying.
Down here, it's thankfully stopped. But whenever there used to be a 2 count, there used to be a lot of people going 2 wah ha ha ha, like the count from Sesame Street, and it just got,
that's funny.
It got to the point where it
is the first time. It's not the 8,000th.
Yeah,
the first time it's very funny.
When it happens,
how funny is 7?
Oh, fuck me dead.
Thank you.
That's for context. There's is or was a group of fans up here in Queensland who used to get very excited when the ref counted to 7 on a count out, and then a ref would do something and they would chant 6 more times. That one had my blood boiling. So
I mean, Alex has said they'll take that 2 over the 2 sweet, but thankfully that's gone as well.
All right. Anyway, it's time to the soul of PWA title on the line in the main event. Robbie Eagles, the champion, the Tuck Man, the challenger. This was the match that this show was built around, and it real like big fight feel was really here. Massive credit to the production team in PWA, who all of the promo work they did for this, all of the the pre-match package to everything that had been going on in social media with doing Instagram takeovers by Tucky and Robbie, and like they went all in on this being the match that everyone had to see, and these two pulled it off in spades.
So somebody in PWA production is definitely a Shannon Knoll fan, though.
I was going to say the Knowlesy got a run or two, didn't it?
Didn't you?
It's Jax.
Oh man!
Oh, is it
Jax?
Yeah, it would be video.
All right, this was bloody excellent. I think that's fair to say. Like, Jeff, have a talk here. Tucky and Robbie, what did you think?
But geez, you can't you're almost speechless with how good this match was. They played into previous meetings so well. Everything. Robbie Eagles doesn't have bad matches, and he makes his opponents look incredible, and he doesn't look bad in defeat. I thought this was amazing. Robbie is so good. Tuckman is on that level now. And this whole story, this 18-month-long story, was beautiful, and it really built Tucky to a point now where he's 1,000% believable. And he gets that reaction. It was kind of nice to see him come out to something different, not to come out to Harvey Danger. But I just wished for anyone but Shannon Knoll, but that's probably just me. I don't know.
What would you have him come out to, though? It was perfect. Having him stand in that crowd, the emotion that he showed at the top of the stage, the fact that they stopped the music and the crowd kept singing it for that one time, then started the music up again. Like, I think those touches were perfect. Because when he came out to Shannon Knoll, I was just like, oh, that's the wrong move. Why aren't you playing his fucking music? I don't know why why are you messing with this? It's a perfect. Like, he has a perfect thing at the moment. But
I would have preferred the moving pictures version because it's fucking better.
But that's not what it's about. It's about the Aussie battle.
It's about a bogan.
But saying all of that, like all of that,
and Shannon Knoll is from out west where Tucky's from, so
yeah. 100%.
But all of that aside,
like
this was.
I don't remember moving pictures ever get arrested at the Crazy Horse. That's all I'm saying.
Moving pictures are going to leave my missus and my mum alone.
And like both sold their bumps, their bruises, the punishment they'd taken through the match so bloody well. And it's clear. You look at Robbie's face at the end, and you could see he was pretty proud, like of what they'd done, and even sort of like begrudgingly handing him the belt and putting it over his shoulder. You could see there was a bit of pride there with Robbie, and thoroughly deserved. Well done, mate. I love this. I thought this will stand up. We'll be mentioning this in December as one of our matches of the year, one of our
100%.
Aussie matches of the year, almost certainly. Yeah, loved it. Todd, what did you think, bro?
Yeah, a perfect story told well is what it was, because it was not one of those ones where like, okay, the guy's earned his contendership and he's worked his way through this. This thing's been going for what, 2 years, year and a half, 3 years. Thank you.
3 years. It was 2 years ago at Ringmasters that he lost.
There you go. So I mean, like, just such a good story, such a good, like the story of the match itself was great. The fact that like there were times where like I'm just like, they're really gonna put Robbie over. Oh shit, this place is gonna be torn down. Like if Tucky does not win this match, this crowd is going to kill them. But yeah, just so much like real emotion, and that's what makes like great wrestling. Brings out real emotions, and brings out real emotions in the guys as well. And you could tell when like Tuckman walked out to the top of that stage, they weren't pretend tears in his eyes. They were like he realized the moment he was in, which was fucking amazing. I love this match. I thought it was so good. And Robbie would have to be in the conversation of the best Australian worker of all time.
Oh,
and I know that we've got guys that are working like consistently in like the biggest feds in the world. I don't care about that. I just think that Robbie is just amazing. Such a good worker.
Especially storyline wise. He's like involved in the story.
Yeah.
It's not, he's just getting given a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also just want to mention that, you know, there are times where we've been, especially in the last probably year and a half, where we've all said, hey, PWA is a little bit off the boil. This just shows you when PWA work a story, it's emotional, it's beautiful, it's why we all love wrestling. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I don't think anyone's gonna argue with me on this point. It's why we love wrestling and what we love to see. And just well done to everyone involved in this, even the commentators, the production staff. The choice of music, everything was perfect.
Yeah. Alex Fireheart saying also, I'll just say at the end of the match, whether it was getting caught up in the emotion of it, the emotion of the announcers, or just all of it, but they came this close to crying after that match ended, and they don't keep up with PWA all that much. So that says a lot. Macho Man Andy Savage says it was such a great story, so well built, such an emotional moment. They thought it was a lost opportunity to not have Ketis cash in the Esky. That would have been the most nuclear heat. We will say, behind the scenes here at Wrestle Radio Australia, Todd made a three-part prediction from the end of the show last week that it was going to be Ketis wins the Esky, the North Shore Wrestling Tag Team title win, and then have the cash in at the end. So it came that close to Todd Stradamus striking again. But
I was so, like I said to you guys before we started filming tonight, I was like, this is the first time I was so glad one of my predictions did not come right, because like they wouldn't have been able to get people out. They wouldn't have been able to get people out of that building. They would have been like Ketis and Charlie. I hope that if they were going to do that, I hope there would have been a car running for them outside.
Yeah.
Because they would have needed it. And honestly, like as cool as it would have been, and as a quote unquote missed opportunity, that wasn't the time for that. That was the perfect moment. That's one of those feel-good moments, and you can't every time not have a like.
You can't crush the feel-good moment every time.
Exactly, and let's face it, the last couple of PWA shows, because it's always been like Chev's on top with some like fuckery by like North Shore Wrestling. You kind of needed that. You know what I mean? You needed that good feeling. And you said before, like Jeff, like that match is like one of the reasons why we love wrestling, and PWA had been off the ball. We reviewed one of the Mountie shows, and we're like, this Mountie show was one like the type of reason why I love PWA, and I felt like they'd been getting away from it. Whereas this show showed that they can, when they do everything right, very hard to touch a good PWA show.
Yeah.
And that's what this was. This was a very good PWA show. This would be one of those ones where, like, if we were judging shows of the year, very, very close to, if not better than the last MCW show we just watched.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, top
Alex
to
Firehart.
bottom, everything was great.
Yeah,
Alex
exactly.
Firehart in the chat saying props to Robbie as well for playing such a bully heel without any cheating, just taunting the crowd and beating the shit out of Tuckman. Always great to see a smaller guy be a convincing bully heel and really sells him as the gatekeeper of Aussie wrestling. I wanted to really quickly just run through, because it was about 16 months that Robbie held that Soul of PWA title, and he defended it against Lena Cross, Bonza, Paris De Silva, Billy Preston, Mitch Ryder, Zeke Andino, Jude London, Jimmy Townsend, Michael Spencer, and Shea Cassidy, and then had that rematch against Tucky. Like, other than Bonza, those are all people that we talk about as, or, you know, the Velocities guys. But the Velocity guys as singles guys get that shine that they don't always get. And everyone else there are people that we talk about as, like, people on the rise, people who are getting such a spotlight from it. What an incredible title reign by Robbie Eagles, where he was able to be a hated heel while still being one of the most respected wrestlers in the country, where when he was going overseas, we were able to cheer for him without him changing who he was as a character. Macho Man in the chat saying he had that Ron Miller special in at the end for over 5 minutes and never lost the crowd. They kept getting more hyped. Incredible professional wrestling. Yeah, like, just magic stuff. Jamie, is there anything you wanted to add talking about this match?
I loved just the fact that this was such a long story. Like, you don't get that on the indies where people will tell a 2-3 year long storyline with
because you can't do it because you just don't know if they'll be around.
Yep. But yeah,
it's so very hard.
The fact
it's
that
hard doing a 3-month angle sometimes.
Yeah, but yeah, the fact that they could do it, and then it wasn't just on shows as well. Like, Tucky was like constantly posting whenever Robbie was like defending that solo PWA title, whether it was in PWA or overseas, he was retweeting it and posting it like, I still miss that belt. I still miss my soul. I want my soul back, and playing into it on socials and working on himself, going over to the States, working with Grayson, working with trainers in the States, working all over the country, training here as well. And then bringing all of that back into this match, because there were Scott Green, Grayson Waller odes. There were Ricky South odes with the pile driver. Like, they really played into all of the calling back to the first match. What do they call them? The foxhole, the guys that Tucky and Ricky South, Jimmy Townsend, they were the foxhole of PWA. And he had like odes to all of them. He even, despite getting beat up, being really angry at Robbie, he tried to hit a 450 on Robbie and sort of show that throughout this, he learned. He's become a better wrestler. And that's the beauty of wrestling, to see someone improve and take those improvements and put them into the matches, into their character. It was just brilliant. Like, my favorite match of the year.
In a lot of ways, it's reminiscent of the character of Eddie Kingston in Shikara. The way Eddie used to call the title her and used to just adore the Shikara Grand Championship. It reminded me a lot of that, because when Eddie first entered Shikara, he was almost sort of a beer swilling, not taken seriously, just as almost a side act, almost a comedy act. And it seems that PWA have looked at that story and gone, we can replicate this in some ways with Tuckman. And Robbie was the perfect opponent. He really, really was. I love this. No argument. As I said, I think we're all going to be talking about this in 4 short months at our best of 2025.
I also think it's worth saying that, when Tucky last had that belt, we were talking about, you know, like when they had the beer bash match against Will Keatis, and there was, you know, shopping trolleys getting used in the title matches and stuff at Coliseum. We were saying that there was a little bit of covering up how green Tucky was with the fun and the nonsense, because he was still working to get to that point where he could have a straight up one-on-one match. That's not the conversation anymore. Right?
No.
You can see the work that Tucky has put in, and the change over those 18-ish months has been astronomical, to the point where this made sense as a one-on-one match where the wrestling told the story, right? Mm-hmm. And that's magic. And that's what's great about Australian wrestling, is that you can show up and watch these shows and get told great stories, right? Alex Fireheart said, might just be recency bias, but this may honestly be one of my favorite matches of the year so far, full stop. I'd be surprised if it still isn't in my top 3 by the end of the year. Alex then saying, I have no idea if it was intentional or not, but one of my favorite spots was Tuckman hitting a power bomb and going down kind of awkwardly on his end, like his legs gave out mid-move as he hit it. Macho Man Andy Savage is asking any rumors around Coliseum. They've announced an October show and December show, no Coliseum. This show is the perfect opportunity for Braxton to be noticed. Didn't happen. Seems a bit odd. I do think we were on the money saying that Braxton kind of has to be the last entrant announced. I think that, you know, that's the way to do it.
Like I said,
especially
before,
if they're bringing international in as well, they want to announce them first.
Yeah, I also think any announcement on that show would have just gotten buried. By what happened on that show.
Yeah. And
the Coliseum announcement, like the first one, is generally on a show that is kind of like, it was a fine show, to make that the talking point coming out of it. So maybe the next show will be the one where we start to get those rolling out.
Yeah, and like if you look at, because Coliseum normally happens in October, so it's still a couple of months out, you know, we've got time. Roddy Online asks, how does this being noticed gimmick work? Basically, they play a pre-recorded VT where like a robotic sounding voiceover says, you have been noticed. And then they announce the wrestler that has been noticed and that they are in Coliseum. And
I've been having Mitch walk around in nothing but high vis for the last couple of months. So
well, you know, on top of that, Todd, I know that... Go on, Jeff.
Todd, you've been noticed. You've been noticed for 500 episodes, mate. Don't worry about it.
499.
Roddy Online says, oh, that kind of rips. Yeah, it does. It's so sick. It's so cool. And the videos are so hype because they go, you have been noticed. And then it just sits quietly for a second. And then the name hits. And it's always someone excited.
And then it's all their highlights of all their cool shit.
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's very well done by PWA's production team.
And PWA's production is off the charts. Typically, every wrestler has a different song that plays over their highlights. So if you watch all of the videos, every wrestler has not their theme song, but like thematically a song that attaches itself to their Coliseum entrant. Mm-hmm. So cool. Like, you know, years back.
Todd's is just the Alvarez video on a loop.
And Andy Savage saying, was it Moretti or Warburg who came up?
That Todd, he knows his stuff. Maybe we should listen to him more often.
Thanks, Todd. Get in the way. Just jump in there, ruin the flow. Okay, that's fine.
Look, I think I added to the flow actually.
So, look, if you want to add to the flow of viewers that have been streaming to that show, PWA's Black Label, The Climb, you can do it over on YouTube. Just head to YouTube, search for PWA. You'll be able to find all of their events have streamed live over there. It's at the top of the results. You can also find the link in the description of this podcast episode if you're not here at twitch.tv/WrestleRadio And look, you can watch those PWA shows live, which is incredible. But doesn't hold a candle to actually being in the building, right? That's what's special about Australian wrestling is you can be there, you can feel that energy live, and there's plenty of opportunities to do it this weekend. Special thanks to Michael Lee at the Australian Wrestling Community Facebook page. As always, what an absolute legend who gets these to us nice and in advance so that we can list off all the shows happening. Like in ACT, Lucha Fantastic has got the Circus Show Canberra on Saturday, August 9th. But all of this weekend in the ACT is the Viral Food Fest Canberra, which PWA is going to be at. So if you want to see some of those great PWA names, you can do that Friday, August 8th, Saturday, August 9th, and Sunday, August 10th in Canberra. In New South Wales, Integrity Sports Entertainment Australia's Hail to the King is going to be on Saturday, August 9th, as is Wrestle Strong Dojo on Saturday, August 9th. Up here in Queensland, you can check out QWA's Fresh Start on Saturday, August 9th, Venom Pro Wrestling's Walloon Saloon Showdown on Saturday, August 9th, or special to the people in this call, Wide Bay Pro Wrestling's Rise from the Ashes, also on Saturday, August 9th, a card that I'm devastated to be missing out on because it is going to go off. Meanwhile, in Victoria, PCW's Evolution/Slam and Ignition are on Friday, August 8th and Saturday, August 9th, respectively. Meanwhile, MXW Pro Wrestling's Lord of the Ring and Sunday Sesh 3 are on Saturday, August 9th and Sunday, August 10th, respectively. And in Western Australia, Southern Territory Wrestling's Ambition 4 is going to be on Saturday, August 9th. But there's also a bigger show coming up in Victoria that we should talk about, and that's MCW Vendetta, which has had its card coming together for the 30th of August. That one's got matches like Rocky Monero versus Edward Dusk, with Dusky cashing in his match of choice to be one-on-one with Monero one more time. There's going to be an Intercommonwealth title match with Adam Brooks defending against the Tuckman with special referee the Clydesdale. There's going to be a one-on-one with Tommy Knight versus Robbie Thorpe. There's going to be Aisha versus Shay Cassidy. There's going to be a women's #1 contendership match. There's also going to be an MCW tag team title match with Water Rapids, Mitch Waterman and Ryan Rapid, defending against Lucas Fantasia and Lucky O'Leary, and the Natural Classics, Stevie and Tom Philippe, as well as an MCW women's title match with Eugenie, the champion, defending against Erica Reed. What a show that is going to be. Absolutely head along to mcwtix.com.au. That's mcwtix.com.au if you're in Melbourne to get along to that show, because Vendetta is going to absolutely go off. And I've got a feeling. Go ahead, Jeff.
I think most of those tickets are gone too. So
I would have to imagine.
Be in standing room. I can't wait for that show. That's going to be an absolute cracker. MCW have a hot hand at the moment, there's no doubt.
I mean, everything MCW has been putting, like, put it this way, you can already get tickets to Fight to Survive for MCW because they're going to sell out. So the tickets are up there now. You can go and get those tickets, get amongst it, because you know, if you are going to be in Melbourne in October, it might be worth getting along to that show. Like, that's the kind of planning you need to do because they are so in demand. They are so hot. They are just exploding. And I've got a feeling that one or two of us might explode when we talk about what's been going on around the world of wrestling, with so much news coming out of the WWE with SummerSlam happening, on top of AEW, on top of Forbidden Door taking shape, on top of the ongoing G1 Climax results. So we are going to talk about all of that right after this.
That's good. But, like, Jamie, do you want to tell us what we're going to see in the ad break?
So we've got a couple of clips from my upcoming interview with One Shot Mitch Ryder, chatting about that man down there, or that side, Todd, and also...
I don't know Mitch that well, but that's lovely.
And also chatting about just how good Australian wrestling is.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to do that. We'll be right back right after this. I stole the gimmick.
There's nothing more beneficial than just taking yourselves out of your comfort zone and going and doing it. And you'll grow exponentially as a human, but as a pro wrestler as well, for sure. And the other thing that I think people would be really surprised about is, or other workers would be really surprised about, is just how good we are in Australia. Like, you can go to a place, you know, places where people think that the pro wrestling level is really high, and it is, but so is Australia. And we, from 90% of the Aussies that you see go abroad, we all fit in pretty quickly because we can all hang with a lot of these people, which is unreal. Like, it's sick, but you don't know that until you do it. Like, you don't know that until you get out there, and it's scary, but so important for growth, just as a person.
Welcome to Renegades of Wrestling Indestructible. This looks like it's said to be spectacular.
I know that you are here for some fantastic, terrific professional wrestling, but I know what you want deep in your heart, and that is to see this man rack him up! Rack him up!
This wasn't a singles match tonight, this was a tag team match, and Aisha's pretty surprised she wasn't the centre of attention, but sometimes you've got to share the spotlight.
Aaron Nicole staking her claim here at Renegades of Wrestling. What a moment it will be if Tali can pull the win out, but she has the biggest opponent she has faced, Indy Hartwell.
She's grabbing the title belt.
Oh no, you're kidding. Respect being shown either way.
I had the opportunity to team with Aisha, someone who's supposed to be paving the way for people like me. We went out there to save Tali and she turns on me?
We saw them earlier tonight working as a team.
If that's the way you want to go, we're going to settle this.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into, kid. At Iron August 2nd, you are going to find out what it truly means to be in the ring with Aisha. And you're not going to like it.
The Barca Brothers are your new Renegades Tag Team Champions.
Losing the titles and losing Evan recently it's not a lot to me, so I need to go off in the focus group. Alright? Yeah. Talk to management to make sure that you still got a match for Eye of the Storm. Because I know how much you get hired, you do one of those music categories and stuff like when I get back to we need to refocus.
Gentlemen, we have a solution for all of our problems if we just band together.
Renegades of Wrestling, I am your new national hero, JXT.
This contest pits number one contender versus number one contender. Winner takes all.
He's already the number one contender. What more do you want, Marky?
Following contest for the Renegades of Wrestling World Championship.
Someone's the wrist squad a bit.
Oh my God, he's about to win the world title.
Kate Van Uggers come out and extracted revenge on Tyson Reed.
What do you say, fellas? Do we work together?
We've got to get ourselves a team.
How important has Todd sort of been to your development as a performer?
Yeah, I've said it a couple of times, and I mean, he certainly knows this, but like before he came along, I was essentially wrestling in like a shed in someone's backyard. He really was the one that kind of started it all properly for me. Like I obviously was wrestling before that, but he was the one that kind of opened up some real true pathways to then sort of really kick things off. I feel like I would have had a lot of wasted potential if he didn't do that. So yeah, I pretty much owe him everything, like from that aspect, 100%. And so to be able to continue on the ride with him from where we were to now being, you know, part of the favored side of the fans, like it's just sick. It's so cool. And I've said it before, like I will work with Todd as long as he wants to keep being in the business. Like I don't think we'll ever part ways. There won't be a tribal chief and a wise man split here, I don't think.
Hey Melbourne!
WrestleBrania
is back again in 2025.
WrestleBrania. 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 WrestleBrania.
For Sunday Slam.
WrestleBrania.
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 At the Bergie Band Room, 4 epic Sundays over 4 months.
WrestleBrania.
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 Let's get ready to Brania! Starting at 7:30 p.m. August 31st, September 28th, October 26th, November 23rd. Tickets $28.05, including booking fee through OzTix.
WrestleBrania. 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 WrestleBrania.
A home of
sports entertainment.
Entertainment. Every show will be different with new games, new guests, and maybe even a new host. Nothing is sacred, no one is safe, but it will be a fun and entertaining show. Or will it? Yes, it will. WrestleBrania Sunday Slam.
Welcome back to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show. We talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling, and my goodness, it has been going on, hasn't it? SummerSlam happened over this past weekend in the WWE, and a big return has been the story on everyone's lips. Brock Lesnar returning on Sunday and immediately setting his sights on John Cena, who just lost the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes in a street fight. Cena will respond to Lesnar's attack on this Friday's SmackDown. Dave Meltzer reported on Monday that WWE legally cleared Brock Lesnar 4 weeks ago. Brian Alvarez reported he was listed as part of WWE's active roster 2 weeks ago. He's been kept off WWE programming after he was named in Janelle Grant's lawsuit, where the former WWE employee alleged that Vince McMahon attempted to use sexual favors from her as an incentive for Lesnar to sign a new WWE contract. Keep in mind here that, Grant and Lesnar never met, and that Lesnar is not a defendant in that suit, but he is named pretty consistently in that suit. And the suitability of him appearing on WWE TV as that's ongoing is, let's say, controversial and questionable. I might hand it off to Jeff here. Jeff, give us your thoughts on Lesnar returning to WWE.
I don't like this. There's nothing about this that I like. I hadn't missed Lesnar as an in-ring competitor. I hadn't missed Lesnar's presence, and this whole thing stinks of just another pile of shit from a company that has
swimming in it at the moment.
Yeah. And then the unmitigated gall of Triple H to be listening to chants from people that are clearly saying, "We want Cross, we want Cross," and him going, "You've got him back, Brock's back." Come on, don't feed us bullshit and tell us to like it. This is terrible.
That's
just terrible.
Triple H was just stirring them up. I mean, come on. Ease up on that shit and come.
What? To what end? To what end?
What?
It's indefensible.
Because he's a shit stirrer. Have you not met him?
Yes, I have, but you cannot defend the hiring, the return of Brock Lesnar. You can't defend it. It's indefensible.
What?
The guy's name?
He's named what? 44 times. Have you ever read a lawsuit before? They go through every step. So it was like he never met her. They've never done anything. He never actually was in direct. It was all what Vince said was going to happen. And that's why, and who it was going to happen with. That's why he wasn't named in the original lawsuit. And he's not a part of the lawsuit. Like, she's not charged him. If he was that much involved in it, surely he would have been named in it as well with Laurinaitis, with WWE.
Well, let's grab, because we've got Nick Galea in the chat saying, at best, he took the information of an employee of Vince McMahon being taken advantage as an opportunity to be a creep. Get in the bin. Nick Galea also says something that I agree with. Even if you don't care about any of the other stuff, Brock has been horribly boring for a decade. Right?
Yeah, 100%. And like
this is
the only good thing I think about this thing is him and Cena can go off in their own universe now.
Yeah,
they don't have to touch anyone else on the roster. Anyone, because let's face it, the best match that Cena has had was this last one with Cody.
Yeah.
All the other matches were pretty fucking average, and it was very clear to me that the last year of Cena was just Cena hitting his greatest hits album. Like, if Adam Copeland was still in the company, he would have been doing a program with John.
Yep.
Like, and that's all it was. It was never about like coming back and working with the young guys. It was just about a greatest hits tour.
Yep.
I feel really bad that Owen because that feels like a slam dunk for this, right? Like, that's the kind of things he was doing.
It would have got a good match out of him too.
If this is a one and done, if this is just he's going to come back, he's going to wrestle Cena once, and then go back to what being a huge farm guy in wherever. Fine, do it, whatever. I don't care, but I don't want to see him. Yeah, and Nick Lee has said this right. By the same logic, if they're going with he's not technically guilty, they may as well bring back Velveteen Dream. They may as well give Joey Ryan a job.
No, they're very
we'll
different
be talking
cases,
about that
and you
soon.
know it. They're very different cases, and you know it.
It's also
but
it's pretty clear that they knew.
No, don't. Yeah, but they're very different cases. Like Velveteen Dream and Joey Ryan, direct contact.
Velveteen Dream and Austin Theory, pretty similar.
And Austin Theory, he's injured at the moment, isn't he? Well, apparently.
Yep.
Yes. But it's also pretty clear that the company knew this was going to be received poorly because they got rid of the press conferences after the show, and they're like kind of blaming each other for why he's back. Triple H is like, John wanted this, and Cena's like, no, they told me he was coming back, and now
do you know what the thing is,
today
though?
Triple H is like, oh yeah, we reached out to him and he's back.
If you're neck deep in this, like we all are watching wrestling and all this stuff, you know all of this shit. 98% of the wrestling public, no fucking idea about it, because you wouldn't have heard the pop they heard when he came back. You wouldn't have. I wouldn't have had like 3 or 4 of my mates message me going, "Shit, man, Brock Lesnar's back. Did you see that?"
Yeah.
Like they just don't know.
I suspect he might be back for like a 12-month run though. The next SummerSlam in Minnesota, Brock's final hurrah.
Yeah. Well, like I like the biggest thing, like, and I've seen it been getting absolutely hammered on X, and that 99% of those people, they don't give a fuck. They're just engagement farming.
Yep. Yeah. Alex Fireheart says, I find it funny that Triple H basically threw Cena under the bus, basically saying Cena wanted him back for a match, as if Tripp's hands were tied somehow. Lol. And like Cena's response every time, he has said the same phrase, they deal them, I play them. And he says that's what he's been doing the whole time he's worked for WWE. They deal him, he plays them. So, like, Wild Angel says, just got out of hospital. What did I miss? Wild Angel, first of all, you need to go and check out that Tuckman Robbie Eagles match. That's the first thing you missed. But the second thing you missed is, just a lot of back and forth about whether Lesnar should be back in the WWE. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to for me is I didn't want him in WWE a year ago before the lawsuit came out. Right?
No.
So,
like, honestly, lawsuit aside, I didn't really want him back anyway. I'm kind of glad he's back in this capacity, not being involved. Like, if he came back and attacked Cody, I would have probably be even more. I'd be more like, fuck, I don't want to see that. But him and Cena, go off and do your thing. Stay away from the group, please. Stay away from the rest of the roster. You just fight amongst yourselves. Thank you.
I've got an idea for his final match. If it's next year in Minnesota, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. We've never seen it before. It'll be brand new. Crowd certainly won't shit on it. Nothing battle.
Yeah.
Well, let's not talk about anyone shitting on anyone. Let's move on to starting in 2026, WWE Premium Live events will air on ESPN in the United States as part of their new streaming service. According to the Wall Street Journal, the deal is reportedly for $1.6 billion over 5 years. That's $325 million a year. An official start date was not announced, but it's all but certain to be with this April's WrestleMania from Las Vegas. According to the announcement, the deal may also include ESPN streaming both pre- and post-shows for those PLEs. WWE will also continue to produce the events, obviously. The new ESPN streaming service launches on August 21st at $29.99 United States dollars per month, meaning WWE fans will need to pay considerably more than they were with Peacock. ESPN still negotiating with UFC as TKO's other major content hubs deal with the sports leader ends at the close of 2026. In the ESPN announcement, Accessibility to archive content was also not mentioned. The deal ends WWE's 5-year contract with NBC Universal that began in March 2021 and included both PLEs and archive content for domestic viewers. Their contract for WWE SmackDown on USA remains. My goodness, $30 a month is a lot for a company that had their own streaming service with archive content for $9.99.
It's not just for the WWE.
Yeah, it's all the other
$30 that $30 a month is basically the sports package. And if people
they
already
just
have
bought-
ESPN,
They
they've
just
already
bought
got
the
it.
NFL network as well.
Yeah. Like, this is what the story didn't say, because that didn't make as cool a headline for people to be able to rail against.
I
And again,
understand and I
engagement
agree.
farm.
But, like, this is the thing, right, is if I was in America, if I was in the USA, that would be the way for me to watch WWE, and I'm not going to go and watch other sports, right? Like, if WWE was on KO, right, it would be, am I going to pay for a KO subscription? Not because I want to watch the AFL, but it would be for WWE, right? And you're talking about a subscription that is $30 United States dollars a month.
The other
Yeah,
thing
but
it did
most of
mention
that-
is ESPN is generally like included in a lot of base packages in the US. So a lot of people already have it no matter what. They don't have to pay extra. It's only if you don't already have a cable package.
And it's really, really
No,
worth
it's
saying that.
sorry, Andy. Unfortunately, you're wrong, because this is all I've been looking at all day.
And in the US, if you don't want to pay for your ESPN subscription, you can stand up, you can go to your local sports bar, and you can watch it there with 50, 60, 70, 100 other people. They all show. Every sports bar in the US shows wrestling, especially pay-per-view nights, because they make a fucking ton off it. So
And also, if you want to be a tight ass,
a nothing
just fucking buy a VPN and watch it on Netflix.
Watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The question I have is, are people who have ESPN on cable getting this streaming service free as part of that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
They just have to
that's
log into the app.
right?
They can't watch it through what they have, but they just log in through. It's weird in America because you log in the app, and they go, "Who are you? Like, how are you doing it? You're doing it
It's
through
how
like I
ESPN
have
used to be
YouTube
here.
TV."
Right. So it's kind of
ESPN
like
used to have a similar thing here for like when NFL Red Zone first began. You had to log into the ESPN app using your Foxtel account.
it's kind of like the equivalent of it being on Foxtel Now or something, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Okay. Right. Well, then,
So-
yeah, that's definitely a different conversation than a sports streaming service that is $30 a month, if it is also accessible being part of.
Yeah. It's
like,
also a lot of
those
bitching
other
from
packages.
a lot of bitching for a fan base that pay $50 a month to watch the AEW pay-per-views.
Very true. I will say, like, Peacock, and this is from an outsider's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Peacock seemed like a good deal because there was a lot of stuff for people who like scripted content, right? Rather than because it's a very different audience, right? I'm not a
Yeah.
sports guy, right? But maybe I want to watch Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that wrestling is there with Parks and Rec under the one service for $12 a month or whatever it was seemed like a really good deal because Peacock was interesting. You know, I can watch Saturday Night Live, right? Whereas just being under a sports banner feels strange. We were actually talking about, you know, whether wrestling kind of reads as sport before in an unrelated context, right? It's so weird that, you know, it's not sport, but it's also not sport. So where does it fit?
Yeah. I think like the biggest annoying thing for Americans is that all of the shows are split across so many different services. At least AEW, it's all Max. If you've got Max, you get everything except for the pay-per-views. Maybe they change that. But WWE, you got SmackDown's on one show, on one network, Netflix for Raw, ESPN for the pay-per-views, CW for NXT, Hulu for Evolve.
Yeah.
Like all of their shows, every show is on a different network, and that just makes it very difficult for someone to fully invest in.
It's hard, but like when you
People do
can
it.
make when you can make $325 million a year, you're
for
gonna
just
take that
pay-per-views.
money, aren't you? Yeah, for just the pay-per-views, you're gonna do that, aren't you?
For
Especially
what?
since you're going to see
15
most
shows
of that.
a year?
Yeah, for
No,
I think it's
10,
only
I
12
think they
for
said.
that deal. 10 or 12, yeah.
Well, it might be 10 with a 2-night SummerSlam and a 2-night Mania, right? Would be 12.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it would be. Also, you'll probably see all of that, the older stuff, all move over to YouTube for the Vault, because that stuff's getting put in every day. There's new stuff on that Vault.
It's also like an interesting conflict too with ESPN having the rights for AEW here in Australia.
Yeah.
And then in the States, they're WWE. So it's like,
well,
Disney is really heavily in wrestling globally.
Well, in Canada, I'm pretty sure WWE is on TNT.
Wild.
Yeah.
Just who can keep up at this point? Look, let's move on quickly. This one's not much of a story.
Like to try and keep up. Come in every Thursday night on twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia. You don't need any of
Jeff's
others.
learning from the master.
Todd taught me well. Just come here and watch us yabble on about it.
On August 6th, the number of places aggregated a PW Insider Elite story indicating that Austin Theory was removed from the WWE roster internally. Fightful talked to some people in the company, and some clarification was provided that he isn't off the roster completely. He's just listed with other injured talent like Zoe Stark and Ilya Dragunov. Right? So
Dragunov has got to be close, surely.
Sure, please? Can he be okay? I want to see him wrestle again. You know what? This is going to sound insane. If there's one person that could get a good match out of Brock, I would watch Dragon wrestle Brock.
I was thinking just that. I want to see him eat Brock for breakfast.
I love Dragunov. Hopefully he's back soon. It's very interesting to see, I will say, now that Theory isn't on TV. If you caught any of what Waller was doing with Penta, there was a lot of people online who saw the destroyer that Waller took from Penta and were commenting, hang on, was Austin Theory holding Grayson Waller back? And it's like, Grayson Waller's great.
You mean Big G?
Big G?
Big G.
I love everything that man does. Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of Austin Theory, but he has been doing his work consistently. It's always sad when somebody is injured because I don't like when people are hurt. But it sounds like he's still around. Do we have any deeper thoughts?
No.
If it means Grayson gets a better spot, cool.
Yeah.
That's the hope, right? Yeah. Because that guy's got it. Let's look at the results from SummerSlam. We'll start by running through night one. We'll talk about highlights and then we'll look at night two. So first off, SummerSlam 2025, night one opened with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns beating Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Then we had the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte defeating Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez to become the new Women's Tag Team champions. Then Sami Zayn defeated Karrion Kross. In a WWE Women's title match, Tiffany Stratton defended her title against Jade Cargill. The tag team of Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul managed to defeat Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. With the WWE World Heavyweight title on the line, CM Punk defeated Gunther, and then out came Money in the Bank holder and injury faker Seth Rollins, who cashed in and beat Punk to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Jamie, what did you think of SummerSlam Night 1? What's worth talking about to you?
I saw the main event. It was enjoyable. Pretty good. I did like the cash-in.
It was enjoyable.
Cash-in was cool.
Cash-in was cool. Jeff, thoughts on Night 1?
The opener was fantastic. So much fun. Just a really, really nice opening match. Things like Bronson Reed. Bron Breakker pulling the straps down, yelling, screaming, and then pulling them back up. Really funny. It's going to be a meme. You know that's going to be everywhere. That was really good. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross was excellent, but criminally short. Just terribly short. I kind of liked McIntyre and Logan Paul against Jelly Roll and Orton, only because Jelly Roll clearly wanted to do well and it showed in everything he did. It was really good. And that main event,
he was trying. God bless him.
Sorry, mate.
He was trying. God bless him.
He was definitely trying. And that main event, Punk against Gunther, was absolutely fantastic. It was my match of the weekend. I kind of liked Bliss and Charlotte against Judgment Day, but think the wrong team won. And Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill was a SmackDown match. It didn't need to be on there.
Todd?
Yeah, I was shocked about that. I understand that they're obviously going with the hot hand of Alexa and Charlotte because they seem to be getting quite a good reaction when they're coming out with the crowd, and it's sort of like clicking a little bit. We're not friends thing. That's kind of cool. I always thought though that the Judgment Day would keep those belts until Liv got back. I almost thought Liv was coming back by the way the match was going, or at least like on Monday night we would have saw her come back and go, where's my title?
Yeah, where'd my belt go?
Yeah, where'd my belt go? But I enjoyed Punk and Gunther. I thought it was great. I think it's great storytelling, like Seth saying, like being the one that like as soon as he wins it, I'm taking it from you.
Yeah,
like he never really got to hold it. He got to have it for a second, got to have his little cry and hold it, and then the music hit. As soon as the music hit, I'm just like, oh, he's fuck. I knew it. I knew this was a work. Like,
Punk had a shorter title reign than his AEW run.
Yes.
I love Drew McIntyre calling out Punk for having a shorter title reign than he did.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yes.
Like, that's magic.
Good.
That's so good. I'll address a couple of people in the chat. Sorry. Alex Fireheart saying, a Charlotte, albeit tag team, title win getting a pop in 2025. Who'd have thunk it? Alex Fireheart also saying that and Charlotte is clinging on to actually getting a face reaction, but don't blame her. Nick Galea says, I do like Bronson stealing shoes. And Wild Angel said, Bronson Reed with the Shula Fala made my weekend.
It was
the Tribal Thief.
The tribal thief. That's right.
I read a lot of
there was
reactions.
a meme. There was a meme going on of like how Roman's going to come out for his next match, and it's like Roman walking out with a pair of slides on.
I read a lot of people were like, "Oh, CM Punk is behind the scenes really upset about having the title for such a short." No, he's not, because Punk's always about the story. He wants to tell good stories, and right now that's what he's doing. This whole thing with Seth Rollins is it's been a great story since Punk came back, since the night Punk came back. Now, for fuck's sake, change his music. That's all.
Who, Punk?
No. I like Cult of Personality.
Oh, okay.
Seth's music.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. I was like, what do you want to change fucking Cult of Personality for?
And like, there's also the reports that cash-in was filmed for the next season of Unreal. So, of course, Punk would be happy about that because that's another big moment later in the next year.
Yep. Yeah. I did hear the story that apparently there was one person who the fake injury got spoiled for, and that was Seth's daughter's preschool teacher who got told immediately. Love that. Love the dad has to pretend to be hurt. Great stuff.
I mean, you've got to admit, you've got to respect his like commitment to the bit, though. Like, this wasn't Tony wearing his neck brace for 2 days and then taking it off and going about his normal life. Like, he was literally living life with that knee brace on. He went and did Rich Eisen on crutches that were never on screen.
Yep.
He hosted Rich Eisen for a week. And to everyone that worked on that show, they thought his knee was rooted because he came in on crutches. He like literally had them carry him to the chair because he couldn't he had the knee in the thing. So he worked everybody.
Full on junkyard dog being blind working.
Yeah. Sandman being blind.
Yeah.
And like the social media posts of him like going for a walk with Becky and their daughter, full knee brace on, like just so good.
Todd, I did see the question get asked, and you might know. For Bronson Reed just being billed from, what's Adelaide's equivalent of like Woodridge Station? Like, if he's going to be stealing shoes, is there somewhere in Adelaide that's like the...
Yeah, he'd be around like Elizabeth.
Yeah, fantastic. So we know...
It's Elizabeth, like but if you're from Elizabeth, it's Elizabeth.
Lisbeth.
Or Port
fantastic.
Adelaide.
Port Adelaide would work too. Moving on to...
Or Frankston if you're in Melbourne. If anyone's in Melbourne, it's Frankston.
Yeah. You got Logan Central or Woodridge up here. You know, we all know the stop that the shoes are getting stolen. Night 2 of SummerSlam opened.
House. Just
Jamie's house. Yeah. If you're in the area,
I do have quite a shoe collection.
You do, mate.
Rookie.
SummerSlam Night 2 opening with a triple threat, Naomi managing to defeat Io Sky and Rhea Ripley to retain her women's world title after being played to the ring by her dad, which was a very nice moment. A WWE Tag Team title 6-pack TLC match had the Wyatt Six retain their tag titles over DIY, Andrade and Rey Fenix, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and Street Profits. For the Intercontinental Women's title, there was a no count-out, no disqualification match where Lyra Valkyria was beaten by Becky Lynch after an accidental assist from Bayley, which means that Lyra will not be able to challenge for that Intercontinental title again while Becky is champion. There was a United States title steel cage match where Solo Sikoa beat Jacob Fatu, an Intercontinental title match where Dominic Mysterio escaped AJ Styles with the belt after some tributes to Eddie and Ray from back in the day. And in the main event, an undisputed WWE title street fight where Cody Rhodes beat John Cena in 32.5 minutes before Cena was attacked by Lesnar. I will say that this is the best Cena has looked since being back by a long way. It was full-on Super Cena. I like Nick Galea. I actually agree with Nick, despite really enjoying it. That Cody versus Cena match made 0 sense. It was like the old SmackDown PS2 game where you spam 100 finishes. Why did they bring the Cody elevator back down at any point so that they could come up with it into the AA? Like,
that's why.
Huh?
That's why.
Like, why was it down?
Cool.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
yes, it was cool.
It looked cool as shit.
It looked cool. Hell. I think... Yeah, Mysterio and Styles was so much fun. I think that having Becky retain was interesting, if nothing else. Man, they can just put Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and another woman in a triple threat to open every pay-per-view forever. It's
that was
fine.
awesome.
Just do that. They did it at Mania, and it slapped. They did it here, and it slapped. Just keep doing that. Right? Jeff, other thoughts?
In this night, there were 5 matches that essentially were no DQ, anything goes matches. And I think that was overkill. I think the 2 nights could have been shuffled around a bit better. While this was the bigger night, as it were, I think that moving the women's triple threat to the first night, make it the opener. That's fine. And moving Charlotte and Alexa and against Judgment Day to the second night would have worked better. The TLC was fun, but it was a popcorn match. Like, you know, it was just action, and nothing really made sense. There was no psychology, but it was a lot of fun. I really. Sorry, mate?
12 guys, not enough for you.
And
no.
Chicks, wasn't it? 12 guys and 2 chicks.
I'm saying that it could have, you know, it was just everything. It was overkill. Angelo Dawkins is looking amazing. He's really, really lifted his game. Becky against Lyra was very entertaining, but it felt like the crowd were just waiting for someone else to come out. But Becky's new music is fucking great. So good.
Shock horror when you get an actual band to create a theme song.
How many more guys do you reckon are just like on the sly going to bands going, hey, do you reckon you could give it like run at my music?
There's a dozen at least.
Well, that's basically
Alex Fire.
It's basically what Bron Breakker did with Limp Bizkit. Like, I would love for them to make me a song, and then Fred Durst came out and went, I'll make you a song.
Yeah.
Alex Fireheart makes a good point here. They say they still think if Cena was going to turn face, they should have held off on turning him until after losing the title to Cody. Treat Cody beating him as what manages to humble him. I agree completely. I'll be talking more about that later. I think you can read between that. Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu was good. It was good. Yeah, it was good. The Intercontinental match was terrific. And yeah, the main event was really good, spoiled by what happened after the main event, if you ask me. Not in Cena giving Cody the title, of course, but the return. But everything felt long. Nothing felt like it was like I grew up in the days where you had 10 matches in a 3-hour show, and some of them moved along at a clipping pace. This felt very long. Night 2.
Well, it was like every match on that night 2 was longer than basically the average match on
everything on the first night.
Yeah, and I think that it all felt, because of the number of no DQ street fights, tag team ladder matches where everything goes with tables and chairs and shit. Everything just felt on a level. There were no peaks and troughs in this show, on this night. Sorry. And I think that was to the detriment of the show.
Especially when night 1 didn't have any gimmick matches.
Yeah, that's what we said last week. Like, it's very imbalanced cards.
Yeah. Look,
very
like, here's the thing about the John Cena turn, right? I thought you'd enjoy that. For people watching the show, they got that joke. I kind of dig it because they were just like, they just came out, look, shit didn't work, so we're just going to go back. Like, it was basically Cena came out and said, look, in a roundabout way, said, look, what happened was fucking not my idea. I went with The Rock and that shit fell apart. It's never what I really wanted to do. In that promo, basically said that without saying that. And you can't argue with just the reaction of when the music first hit and it was the black and white Cena stuff, and then it turned to all color again. That was a moment where, like, even I, as jaded as I am, just like, fuck yeah, I'm happy now. Like, Cena looked happy.
Do we think we're getting one more Cena Rock match?
Cena who?
Rock.
No.
Rock is
walked away. No.
Rock will work with Roman, and that'll be it. If he does that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just there's enough seeds there, and it's enough greatest hits that I think it's a possibility, but I'm not expecting it.
I will reserve the right to explain.
Sorry.
I will reserve the right to explain why I didn't like the Cena turn at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because it's my chicken shit for the week. So let me come to it later and explain.
Yeah. Nick writes, I did laugh that they aired Unreal talking about how... Look, honestly, if they'd have had actual follow-through, the turn was great. The turn was great. It was just there was no follow-up to it. There was
the Rock disappeared straight afterwards.
Yeah, the Rock fucked off straight afterwards. That's the problem is. And I was thinking about this today at work, right? Sometimes you get guys that think that they're too smart for the room, and I get the feeling that's what Rock and Brian Gewirtz think.
Mm-hmm.
They've been away from wrestling for a while. Hey, I always knew how to do this. I know how to do this way better than you guys. We're going to come in and do this and this and this and this, and it just goes to shit. And what do? All right, I'm back to Hollywood now. You can work that out. Didn't work. Travis Scott didn't want to do it, so like we're going to do this shit. Yeah. Go on. If anyone's worked in any sort of a warehouse or factory, they know what that's like.
Yep. Wild Angel says, I hope we don't get thrice in a lifetime unless it's going to be a match like Brock Goldberg at Survivor Series. Alex Fireheart said it'd basically have to happen at Survivor Series, and I don't see Rock working Survivor Series. I think we're getting a surprise PLE in December called Farewell Cena or something along those lines. I think Cena's last match gets its own show, and that gets added into December.
Yeah, I don't think they'll just do this Saturday night's main event one in Boston. No. That won't be it.
Yeah, no. Nick also wrote, isn't the lack of follow-up the same thing people should... 100%. Man, it was. It was dumb. I don't know if you heard what I've been saying for the last 10 minutes. That whole thing was dumb. The fact that if Rock had stuck around and they'd actually followed through on the plans, that was fine. The turn itself was great. The follow-up was the shits.
Yep. Yeah, Alex says this is why Cena should have built a faction up under him so he had at least some people to follow him around as his lackeys. And Nicolia said, for all the talk about WWE being cinema, the story hooks have been really lacking in 2025.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. All right, let's move on and talk about AEW quickly. Kyle Fletcher has won his first AEW title after defeating Dustin Rhodes for the TNT title on Thursday's AEW Collision in a street fight. Hooray! Why didn't this happen why did Dustin have to win the title? Doesn't make any sense. Why do you have to get a screwdriver in the leg? Stuff that.
I think it's just because they wanted like a happy moment after.
I know.
Adam.
Yeah, but you know what? They would have known for a fair while that both of Dustin's knees are fucking shot. Why put all those titles on him?
Yeah. Speaking of, Dustin Rhodes shared an injury update on Tuesday. He revealed that doctors told him they can't repair the damage to either of his knees, meaning he'll require double knee replacement surgery. The procedure is scheduled for August 21st. He lost that championship in a particularly brutal Chicago street fight with Fletcher. At one point during the match, Fletcher stabbed Rhodes in the leg with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Macho McMahon Andy Savage said there's a painting of Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite that will take your breath away. It is incredible. The painting of Fletcher with the TNT title. The framing of it's just superb. Very
could have done without Don Callis, but you know, it is what it is.
It's very Coldplay concert.
It's very Playgirl with Shawn Michaels. That's what I liked about it. Really playing that up. Eddie Kingston has resumed his in-ring training. There's no timetable for his return, but that's such good news. I'm so happy to hear that he is on the way back. And in the main event of Friday's CMLL show in Arena, Mexico, MJF defeated Averno to win the CMLL light heavyweight title. The end of the match had MJF working over Averno's knee. He got out of a half Boston Crab, and MJF managed to get a low blow as he distracted the referee. Half Boston Crab back on. Averno submitted. So that ended his year-long run with the title. After the match, Xander Ken Jr. came to the ring and confronted MJF. In a backstage promo that was later posted to social media, it was announced that MJF will be defending the title against Xander Ken on August 15th. Because you know the thing about MJF, he wasn't in enough feuds.
No, of course
I guess technically that's a CMLL feud, though. So
yeah, but like, there's so much that I don't know that he needs the CMLL light heavyweight title. Like,
no, he doesn't. But maybe CMLL need him to have that.
Maybe, I don't know.
He had
I
it on
always
Dynamite today, calling it the CMLL World Title.
Yep, that's exactly right. See, for me, CMLL has always felt like more of a promotion that works kind of a consistent, thank you, Todd, for me, they're more like a consistent kind of house showy, play in Arena Mexico regularly. Like, it feels like a promotion that doesn't need the publicity to keep trucking along. Like, I could be wrong about that.
It's like a tourist stop.
Here's the hook, girl. You've got to understand that right now, MJF is everywhere because he's got an appearance in Happy Gilmore too. CMLL would be real, and especially in America, because that movie is going over great in the US. CMLL.
Becky Lynch has about as many lines as he does in Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, no way! He's got way more.
Most of them are reactions. Then what? Huh? Come on.
But either way, CMLL, it behooves them to make him a champion. Because, they're going to get eyeballs on the product. Because, hey, the guy from Happy Gilmore too, he's just won a belt down in Mexico. Let's go watch that. There you go.
You should do the whole show in that voice, Jeff.
You should.
Okay. I'm the host of Radio Australia.
It's the same as like Mercedes. Of course, the smaller companies are going to be like, have my title.
Yeah. Nick Galea says the Mark Briscoe promo saying he might not be able to see his brother in the afterlife because of what he's going to do to MJF was proper pro wrestling. That goes real hard.
Can I? Because I haven't seen it yet. Did MJF respond to that by saying, "Don't worry, if you do those things to me, you will see your brother"?
I have to assume so. Alex Fireheart says
that's what I would have been.
Yeah, the classic heel promo, right? Eddie's not up there. Alex Fireheart says, random thought, but do we see a Team Derby versus Death Riders Blood and Guts match coming in with it being, if Death Riders lose, they must disband as a stip? Like, is that what's down the line?
Probably.
I don't know about the stip.
I don't know about the disband bit, but
yeah,
the Blood and Guts match, yes.
Probably, if Death Riders lose, Moxley can't challenge for the world title for 6 months or something.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
We'll see. And Macho Man said, no, they very deliberately said nothing disparaging about Jay. They didn't play to that cliche at all. It was about how Mark is a much shittier version of Jay. We've got a Forbidden Door card for August 24th, which is only like 3 weeks away, so it's getting close. The AEW Unified Champion Kazuchika Okada will be defending against Swerve Strickland in a match I'm actually very excited for. The AEW Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, will be defending against the winner of the Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament. Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to face someone. We'll probably find out after the G1. The AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm is going to defend against Athena, and the TBS Women's Champion Mercedes Moné is going to defend against Alex Windsor. It's looking... And at all, it's looking like a very AEW heavy Forbidden Door.
It is. Yeah. They apparently still have CMLL people to announce, and
the TBS title is currently the only one where they're like, there's going to be AEW with Mercedes and Windsor, a CMLL rep, and a Stardom rep.
Now we do have to remember
AEW.
that only 5 matches have been announced so far, so there could be another 11 or 12 going on this card, right? Like, genuinely, there could be so many more. Keanu says, I wonder if MJF defends that CMLL title on that show. Presumably. Yeah. And Keanu also says, also having a show at the same time as G1 hurts it. Yeah, definitely true. Let's talk about the G1 quickly now.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like, they can't announce anyone from the G1 to be on this show because they spoil the G1.
Exactly. There are 4 nights left of regular rounds for the G1, so let's quickly touch base. Currently in A block, all tied up on 8 points are Evil, Yuya Uemura, Yohei Oiwa, Yoritsuji, and Bolton Oleg, all on 8 points. Meanwhile, tied up on 6 points are Sonata, David Finlay, Callum Newman, Taichi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So really anyone's game in A block. Meanwhile, in B block, as we know, Gabe Kidd on 0 points, forfeiting all his matches due to injury. So on 6 points are Shingo Takagi and El Phantasmo. On 8 points are Yoshihashi, Drilla Maloney, Great Khan, Shota Umino. And then up on 10 points in the top of the standings are Konosuke Takeshita, Ren Narita, and Zack Sabre Jr. So tight in both blocks, as tends to be the case. You know, still 4 nights left, so a couple of matches left for each. It really is anyone's tournament, but B block is looking pretty close to our predictions, other than the Gabe Kidd prediction that Lachlan made. Silly. Silly Lachlan. We'll see how that goes. But to quickly touch on an indie story, Portland Wrestling have cancelled an appearance by Joey Ryan following Backlash. The Portland Wrestling Reborn event scheduled for August 23rd in Vancouver, Washington. It was announced that Ryan, who's been out of wrestling since being accused of sexual assault and harassment during the Speaking Out movement of 2020, would be making his return at the show. However, that's no longer happening, and the entire event is in jeopardy of being cancelled. Quote, I've cancelled Joey Ryan's flight, the promotion announced. He will not be appearing at the August 23rd show. The person behind Portland Wrestling Revival said it's highly likely the show won't take place anymore, blaming another Pacific Northwest wrestling group for threatening to blackball anyone who was going to work it. Quote, Prestige Wrestling's promoter threatened to blackball every wrestler, trainer, and ring crew member who works with me, causing multiple wrestlers to drop out of the show, and even the guy I was renting the ring from canceled the rental. Portland Wrestling wrote, quote, "We currently do not have a ring for a show taking place in less than 3 weeks. Prestige Wrestling is holding a show in Portland on August 23rd, which was announced as a counter to this event that was going to feature Joey Ryan. The Prestige show is billed as, quote, a night of safe space pro wrestling action for the scene, by the scene, that helped cultivate modern-day Portland wrestling. Fans can pay whatever price they want for tickets, and all the proceeds are being donated to charity." Roddy Online says it's giving York. I think that I don't like saying that wrestlers are going to be blackballed for working a show. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, I am happy to see Joey Ryan being not able to work in wrestling again, because that guy was a creep. And the idea that, I don't know, as kind of additional stuff, the show was going to take place in a church, and one of the posters was listed as Joey Ryan Born Again. So that's rough. I don't know about threatening to blackball, but I really like the counter programming that's pay what you want with proceeds donated to charity. That's fantastic stuff. Alex Fireheart says, "The passive aggressive, I see now that my capacity for forgiveness is infinitely greater than the rest of the American wrestling scene, which I've learned through this experience." Comment was like, dude, come on. Wow.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's good when people band together for stuff like that. Like somebody said in the chat, it's giving York. Like that's what happened up here. Like the crew band together and they eventually realized the fucking error of their ways. Too late, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, and again, like people who have multiple credible accusations against them, we don't want them in the scene. And it's really cool to see people standing up and saying, we're going to, hold up against that. Roddy, just a matter of, chat moves, and it's about, being able to see who's who.
And I've been hitting the head a lot recently.
It did get dropped on his head.
See that Rip Riley match? He took that baking sheet straight to the dome, baby.
Yeah, there's a very good photo of it.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. This it's absolute shit. Absolute shit. I don't know that we've got anything more to say about it other than let's talk about some chicken shit for a bit. Let's start with Jamie. Jeff, you know what? Take it away. Is that your chicken shit? Because it by rights, it probably should be.
Are you going to go with Jimmy?
I think
it's been a week.
I think that the return of Brock Lesnar are, they are probably pretty shitty for everybody. But to me, it was actually the Cena turn. I grew up studying filmmaking. Filmmaking was one of the things that I studied. I'm a screenwriter, and everything that we learned in screenwriting is show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. And what did WWE do? They told, they didn't show. Had Cena come out and someone threatened Cody and then Cena gone, no, he's mine, back off, whatever, a bit of biffo, and then action comes in and Cena winds up saving Cody and then going, look, I just want this with you. I want this one last time. I want to be the real me and do this properly. And then cut the promo, fine. That would have been great. But just having him come out and do a promo where you're almost waiting for the other shoe to drop.
That's what I kind of liked about it. They're like, oh, okay. It's not.
That's fine.
This isn't a fucking work. All right.
It's not good. It's not good from a media perspective.
I don't know if you realize this, mate, but
the next
2 weeks
time
ago, 2 weeks ago, you were saying the heel turn, his heel hasn't been good. Like, it hasn't been good.
Oh, no.
So instead of doing it, they've gone, fuck it, we fucked it up, fuck it. We're just going to stop it. I would rather they drop it than just...
I'm not saying the heel turn was good, but there are ways to get out of the heel turn that are better than a promo. That's what I'm saying. The heel turn was shit. Like, let's be honest. Travis Scott, no. Don't want to see that again. But...
The turn was fine. The follow-up was shit.
What I'm saying is that there are better ways to execute a face turn than on a microphone for 10 minutes. And they should have done that. They should have gone with another route instead of a promo. Because the promo wasn't great.
Todd?
I disagree, but again, this is cool. Jeez. Chicken shit. What can I say? It's just been like... I've been more like... The whole thing with Brock Lesnar has been shit. The chicken shit that I've really seen over the last couple of days is just, and I touched on it before, the engagement farming from people. Where you can tell that they don't really give a shit, but they know if they write something here, they're going to get a lot of engagement of it, and it all makes money for them. For people that are so outraged about Brock Lesnar coming back, they're quite happy to make money off him doing it. So that's why I think it's shit. Because it just feeds on itself.
Yep. Jamie, chicken shit?
Mine kind of feeds off the Brock Lesnar thing, like just the way that it's kind of seemingly encouraged people to test the waters with some of these not so desirable characters, with the Jimmy Havoc thing in Rise, and then obviously the Joey Ryan thing.
Apparently Joey put up on his Instagram today a big thing. I haven't actually watched it yet. I just saw it pop up, and I was just
even
okay.
Marty Skrull's getting booked in places all over the place
Mexico.
now too.
That's Mexico, brother.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
they'll book anyone in Mexico.
It's kind of like WWE's kind of given the green light to all of these companies to test the waters, see how it goes for you, and I don't like it.
Can someone remind me what Flip Gordon did?
He was just weird
anti-vax
conspiracy theory. Yeah,
he was flat Earth anti-vax.
So he's basically fucking the Republican Party. Well, how did he get cancelled then?
He wasn't even really cancelled though. The thing with Flip Gordon was that the weird thing was that he was like, "Oh, it's a gimmick. I'm doing a gimmick," but then it wasn't ever part of his gimmick.
Yeah.
He just claimed that it was oh, it's all kayfabe, brother, and then did not incorporate it into his character whatsoever.
At least AJ was smart enough to leave it out.
Yeah, exactly. The gay community. Jamie, did you have a chicken shit?
That was just it. It was just the green lighting of let's test shit.
You're absolutely right. My chicken. Obviously, I agree with everyone, so I'm going to just pick something a bit more lighthearted so that we can hear some more things. I don't know about this whole additional American masked men storyline. The whole thing about the El Grande Americano storyline was about how clearly it was or was not anyone in particular, right? That was what was funny about it. And the fact that he was called El Grande Americano, which is still so funny. It's such a good name for a fake luchador, right? Now that we're actually doing a who is under the mask thing with it, and with 3 or 4 of them, it feels like wasting what was actually fun about the storyline in favor of doing just boring old wrestling tropes, right?
Well, they're pivoting. I think it's funny that it looks like, and somebody pointed it out, that it's every one of Penta's first couple of opponents have all ended up being under the. It was because it was Gable, and then what's his name?
Kaiser
from Kaiser, and they reckon Pete Dunne is under the third one.
Yeah,
so it could be just people banding against. I think it's fine. I think it's even funnier that only one of them is an American.
Yes. Yeah, that's really good. Roddy Online says Lachlan hates fun. You know that that's not true. Fun, goofy wrestling's my thing.
Typical Ranger.
Typical.
I wish that they were instead playing more into the goofiness. I wish somebody would unmask El Grande Americano to find that he has a smaller, more American mask underneath. Right? That's the stuff that I want to see.
Give them
guys.
Give them time.
I want to see Penta unmask El Grande Americano to see Penta. That's what I want.
How would he fit the flaps on?
Tuck him up. Just tuck him in.
Yeah.
It's just a mirror. All right, well, let's be a bit more positive then. Let's talk about what our chicken salad for the past week is. Jeff, you started with the chicken shit. I'll give you the chicken salad opening as well.
Robbie
Go ahead
Tucky.
and steal pods.
Like, there's just no question. Nothing came close. Like, SummerSlam was fine, but nothing came close to the emotion, to the brilliance, to 37 minutes of Robbie Tucky. Brilliant. Just, yeah. Inject that shit into my veins time and time again. Well done to both Robbie and Tucky for that. Fantastic.
Todd?
We didn't really even talk about it this time coming up, and I don't know why. I just kept missing it in thing. But Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Great show. Great show. Really good workers on the show. I love this version of Natty.
Yeah.
Low-key legend.
The low-key legend should be on TV.
Oh, yeah. 100%. They should, I think, isn't she doing it on NWA?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure she is. Yeah. But I love that whole thing. And even, they broke from departure of, because they all, if you've never watched a Bloodsport before, all the competitors come out at the start of the show and do a little, proper, almost like Japanese thing when they're in tournaments. They all come out at the start of the thing and then go back to the back. They even broke from that with Masha and Natty nearly getting into a fight at the start there. So good. And I love just stuff like seeing. I want to see, hopefully coming up, Gable against. I'm blanking on his name right now. Jordan Grace's husband.
Gresham. Yeah, John Gresham. Yeah.
Gresham.
Could you imagine seeing one of those as a blood sport? Jonathan Gresham, Chad Gable. Come on. Because we've already seen two of the other boys from American Alpha or American Made or whatever it is now. It would be so good to see that. I'm a big fan of Bloods. I'd love for them to be an Australian version of it. Just have Damien Slater's Bloodsport.
Oh, hook it into my veins.
Yeah, but that's
they should
me.
call
That
it
was my
the
chicken
pen.
salad. No, I think someone's got that. Aside from the obvious, the PWA show is just a show chicken salad, I think, because it does show. It's a perfect example of how good PWA can be when they are hitting on all cylinders.
And it's like when they keep it simple too. There was no overbooking, over convoluted finishes. It was all simple, and it worked.
Let the wrestling speak for itself, because that's what it did.
Amen.
It was great. It was so good. And if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to go on the PWA YouTube. The link will be in the description of this show. Go and check it out, because it is a show that I think it's 2 hours 20, but so good. And at 2 hours 20, you fast forward through the intermission as well. So it's only maybe 2 hours 10, maybe.
It was just under 2 hours 40 for the whole stream, and that's including countdown at the start, intermission in the middle. So
there you go.
Really just over 2 hours of great wrestling, right? Jamie, chicken salad.
I really enjoyed Kyle Fletcher finally winning a title, but my favorite thing from this week is Dave Meltzer talking about the Brock Lesnar return and saying, tomorrow on Raw they're going to say that they got 75 million social media engagements and blah, 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 blah. And then on Raw, that was the exact figure that they put up on the graphic, that they got 75 million social media engagements for the return. I was like, that is classic.
Not even nailing what they would do, nailing the number.
Yep, the exact number, which makes me question the exact number that they quoted.
I'd love if
Alex
they did it
Fireheart.
just to fucking annoy him.
Yeah.
You probably did.
Yeah, just do that.
Alex Fireheart's chicken salad basically said it before, but absolute props to Tuckman for his performance in that match with Robbie. That was absolutely a main event worthy babyface performance, real fighting spirit shit. Cannot wait until he eventually gets to the PWA title in another year or two. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a good question for you guys now, and I know we're probably running over time. Did Robbie and Tuck make that soul of PWA title now almost more important than the PWA title. Just through like 3 years of build up, I would put that match well above when Jess won her title against Ricky South for emotion.
I think now, for me, part of the reason is the storyline was timed perfectly, whereas it felt when Jess won the PWA title, it was almost a little bit too late. Maybe a couple of shows, so about 6 months too late. Whereas this has been, like, Robbie's carried that PWA title with him wherever he's gone. And there's a lot of shows around the world. So it's given it that prominence. I think that it was absolutely fantastic. And I think in some ways, right now, the title to aspire to in PWA is definitely the sole title, but that takes nothing away from Shevs as champion.
No.
It's like back in when they introduced the Intercontinental title, it was the Workers title.
Yeah.
That is the belt for if you want to prove that you can go in the ring against the best of the best.
It's kind of what Brooks is doing with the Intercommonwealth.
Yeah.
The way that I think of it, and not to get like fully nerd here, but in comic books, the way that I think about it is like, I know, right? Sometimes when you're reading a comic book and the Avengers are fighting Kang for the fate of the multiverse and like multiple universes are being destroyed, like those kind of stakes are almost too big to be able to comprehend. And then you open a Spider-Man comic and someone's about to blow up a building in New York and you get how important that is because it feels real. Right? I wonder if there's something similar happening in PWA where that heavyweight title, it gets defended really rarely. It's the biggest stakes that there is. This is the title that has been, held for long periods by the best that whereas the soul of PWA title is about what it means to be a great wrestler in PWA. Robbie Eagles was the gatekeeper who was saying, if you want to show that you can represent PWA, beat me. And Tucky did, right? So sometimes that lower stakes, simpler story, and Roddy said, Lachlan's going full nerd again. Keeping the stakes that little bit lower, keeping them a bit more readable, just makes it connect that bit more, right? Like, I don't know what it feels like to be Jess Troy or Chevs and be the best in the world fighting against someone that you've known. Whereas I understand what it's like to be the Tuckman. I understand someone taking something from you and
counter punch right
Did
there.
you get bullied at the double
Referee takes a point away. That was in the ribs.
I didn't know I could throw my voice to Sydney, but I did just there.
That was a kidney shot. Your 1 point deduction.
I think it'll all come down to what they do with Tucky now. If they continue to have it be, I'll face anyone, bring them on, I think, it could easily get up there to being bigger than the world title.
Yeah. But, I think that, and like Michael Lee in the chat is asking, how long should they hold off on defending the PWA title to make people foaming at the mouth so that it takes place? And then Alex Fireheart says, where were EC Brownie and Jack Bonds to help a fellow ginger getting bullied? My goodness. I think that, and Keanu has talked about the lack of Scott Green. Scott Green's taking a break at the moment, Keanu, so he's not going to be, super amongst it there. We'll see what happens in the long term. But I do think that it'll depend on, if that big title gets defended 4 times a year and the Soul gets defended 12 times a year, that's going to make a difference to how people think of those belts, right? And so, keeping up with it can be tricky because, with something like the Soul, there is all of those defenses. So you've got to, be paying attention. And there are people who can help you with that. We're called Wrestle Radio Australia. We do Making Chicken Salad every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia. So you can follow us there. Head to twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, get notified every time we go live. If you want the audio version of the podcast or, even the video later, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcasts. You can subscribe to us for free. If you're on Apple Podcasts, if you could give us a rating and a 5-star review, that really helps us get into more ears. It's a massive help. And you can also spread us around by wearing some merch. You can go to Redbubble, search for Wrestle Radio Australia. The proceeds don't go to us. They go to Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life, which are two charities that support mental health here in Australia. That's really important to us. And you can follow us on socials. We're at Wrestle Radio AU on Twitter and Instagram. We're Wrestle Radio Australia on Facebook. You can also follow us individually at Lachlan Albert for me, at Beast Eastman for Todd, at Jamie Apps Media for Jamie. You can follow WrestleBrania for Jeff down at Wrestle_Brania. Jeff, tell us about WrestleBrania, mate.
We are coming back. That is right. We're doing a special encore season here in Melbourne. First show is on the 31st of August. It is the night after MCW's next show, Vendetta. And I'm going to announce right now our wrestlers for that show. We have the Musketeer. I don't know whether he's bringing his horse, but we have the Musketeer going up against Jab. I don't know what Jab's going to do. No one ever knows what Jab's going to do, but I think that show is going to be absolutely hilarious and fucking incredible, and I can't wait. Tickets are available now. You go to OzTix, you look up Bergie Band Room, and there we are. We can't wait to do this with you guys all in the room at the end of August.
Jamie, I tell you, that interview that you were doing with Mitch Ryder that we saw a clip of in the break looks absolutely excellent. And as well as that, Oz Wrestling cards are going off. Tell us about Pario Magazine and Oz Wrestling cards.
You basically just did it for me. We're Mitch Ryder interview. I'm very proud of this one. It's very good chat with Mitch. And there is some sneaky news in there for people that follow Mitch. So definitely check it out next week.
Interesting. Before we, shuffle on too much, obviously we say follow us, subscribe, all that stuff. Please do make sure you're here next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, because I believe, and Todd, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that marks our 500th episode of Wrestle Radio Australia.
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Hey?
Look at that. Were you making that during the show, Todd?
100%.
That's it.
There we go. We got a
tasker. I was like, oh shit!
For our 500th episode, we are going to do 500 moments of chicken shit and chicken salad. I am joking.
That's right.
I can't remember what happened yesterday. God, that looks great, though, bro.
I can't think of 500 milligrams. No, but
Look, we have no idea what we're going to do for the show, but it is our 500th episode. So, yeah, it should be fun, as always.
Absolutely. Just before we go, I'll also put over Kickout merch quickly, kickout.com.au for merch of your favorite Queensland wrestlers and wrestlers from around Australia. If you're a wrestler, you want to get on Kickout, message them on Instagram. But yeah, kickoutmerch.com.au is a great place there. Look, it is so much fun to do this every Thursday night with you boys. It's an absolute joy. And the fact that we're about to do episode 500, that's a special moment. So I am very, very proud of everything we do here at Making Chicken Salad. So on behalf of Todd Eastman, and Jeff Setti, and Jamie Apps, I've been Lachlan Albert. Till next time, have a good one.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit.